do this. The best pleb win.
Hi, it's Zobble1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Legacy version on Xbox, and yes, I'm having another go round at trying to kill Scooby's Corvette. Now, my build obviously has a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to Scooby's, because Scooby uses pulse lasers with phasing, and I hand a 17% plus buff to him to those lasers damage with my appalling thermal resistance, because I'm pure Mega Dual Shields, because I was trying to build the meme and not worry about how good it was. Scooby's Corvette's a very solid build. Any build that the late great Scrub Killer had a hand in building is a very solid build. You know, he tailored his ship builds that he helped other people build to the commander, and yeah, Scooby and him were talking long and hard about how to what he wanted in his Corvette and how he wanted it, and Scrub Killer recommended phasing to him because it would annoy people so much, and Scooby was a big fan of that. So this is actually probably the closest I've come to doing anything in a fight against Scooby, so I've left this one in full. I will admit that I lose it because I mess up. There's like 2 or 3 moments in this fight that I totally mess up, where I'm on the wrong fire group, so I'm not firing my railgun, and I miss cancelling some banks. Also, Scooby's very much better than me at getting his banks off. I'm really bad at ham-fisted and like the time to get my banks off normally against people with railguns. Oddly, Scooby, not a problem in the fight against Scooby. I get to use all my banks because Scooby hasn't got any bank cancelling. But what he is doing is chipping away at my E-rated hull, which it is surprising how much that phasing damage does matter, you know. But yeah, there's a couple of times where I have a chance of cancelling his banks and I miss it. And it's quite frustrating because I was close. This fight was, you know, much closer than I've ever got before, and I even managed to get some reloads off early in the fight. I remembered to get some reloads off early in the fight, which stand me in good stead later into the fight. I didn't get enough reloads off, and I really must focus on getting my reloads off when I get a chance to get my reloads off. You know, from this point on, like this point in the fight onwards, anytime I can get a cheeky reload, I should be utilising it. Anytime my opponent, like on the pass, I can hit the button to reload, I should be trying it. But saying that, all in all, this is one of the best fights I've had with Scooby and his vet for a long time. Yeah, I can't remember. I think the last time we did this, we were out in deep space on the exploration trip, and that fight went way worse than this one. I remember our first proper fight in vet. The cannon vet gave him a little bit of a scare, just a little bit of a scare, which was great. And yeah, my problem has always been the lack of. Well, I always run out of ammo in these fights because I'm in a cannon vet, which is something I need to get better at reloading. But the other thing is, because of my specialized legacy banks and my slow lumbering build with its 9,000 shields and its 3,000 tons of displacement, it's not the quickest on the turn, and it's not the quickest in flatline speed either. Sacrifices were made to make it heavy, which is fun for ramming people, and it has, you know, smashed a few people, unsuspecting people with a big ram. But you know, like there, I was on the wrong fire group. That's why I didn't cancel that bank, and it's really annoying when that happens. But you know, this is learning experience for me. I won't. I was going to say I may one day build a vet that's more suited to fighting 1v1s, but honestly I won't, because I know me and I'm really not in the mood to do that much engineering, and I know full well I'd have to unlock another prismatic shield, and there's no way I'm re-signing up for the blue hair at this stage in my Elite Dangerous career. I'm done on that score. I've said that, like, if I do another vet, it'll be a bi-weave PvE one. That's about it. You know, I'm just gonna have to, you know, face facts and know my vet sucks a little bit and work on, I don't know, getting better at like reloading, cancelling other people's banks, doing things that make me more competitive in these fights, even if I am fighting at a slight disadvantage because of my silly build. Though my silly build has advantages, obviously it's very good against plasmat builds and anything that's like absolute damage or anything that's kinetic damage or anything non-thermal, I'm fine with. So you know, it's not all doom and gloom, but yeah, as you can see, my hull is getting whittled away. It's one of the annoying things when fighting Scooby is your hull takes a pounding, and this is actually good. You know, you can see me trying to sneak in reloads early, which is a good thing because this thing will always run out of ammo. So it's, you know, it doesn't matter if I reload later on in the fight or earlier in the fight. The point thing is just to get some reloads in, and I'll be honest, yeah, fighting against Scooby's vet, if I can get some rams in like that little nudge there, that's not a bad thing. His vet is very solid, it's very strong, but it's not, you know, the most amazing PvP build. Its gimbaled pulse is not fixed. You know, it's not a hardcore Jordo Man PvP build, but it was never built to be. It was built to be a solid all-rounder that can do PvE and PvP, and at that it excels. Like I say, Scrub Killer was always very good with his shipbuilding abilities, and a lot of the Dark Marauders owe a lot to Scrub Killer for a lot of their ships. I think Scrub pretty much gave up with me because he did give me a lot of advice on building ships, and then I went off and built something that was ludicrously overweighted and ridiculous, and then he'd tell me what like to do to mitigate how bad I'd made a ship. A lot of our conversations was literally like, I've built this really weird shit thing, can you make it slightly less shit? And he was like, yeah, probably. You shouldn't have done any of that. Let's see what we can do. And yeah, so that was my, you know, my ship builds. I've never been worried about like building a competitive or a properly stupidly like PvE orientated build. I have very silly ships that do very silly things, but they're fun, and most of them are crazy pirate builds. It doesn't matter if a pirate build's rubbish at PvP. I have a pirate build with less than 300 shields. It's fast enough to get out of danger, and it's got a size 7 hatchbreaker on it, so it does its job, which is rob people. That's the important part, you know. I do love some of those times when you just catch someone trying to get past you and they just flip backwards. Scooby was having difficulty with the 4-shell cannons at times, and it does annoy the shit out of him when he's trying to fight me because of the amount of times it knocks his aim off with his plasmax, the amount of time that he's going one direction and then like there it suddenly halts him and he's going back the other way. It does throw you off quite dramatically at times, the you know, the 4-shell cannons. And yeah, there again, I think did I not have power to distro? There was some reason that I missed that bank again. I didn't cancel enough banks. That's what it comes down to in this fight, and it's small margins, timing, and yeah, things like that. It's just, there is small margins when I have these fights. You know, that and the fact that I'm now a 1 cannon down already because I've run out of ammo, and I'm running out of ammo again, and my focus on, you know, concentrating on one thing. I'm not very good at like multitasking in these fights. And yeah, remembering to try and reload every time you get a chance to reload is something I need to get better on. And yeah, I also have trouble with if you go into the first screen to reload, I don't know what it is, but sometimes my game lags a bit and it doesn't let me reload from that screen, so that's a bit weird. And I actually had a few times in this fight where it continued to synth ammo even though I'm sure I was being hit by a pulse laser, so that weirded me out a little bit, because normally when you get hit it stops the reload, and Scooby has got, I think he's got a turret pulse on there. I have to check with him, maybe it's a gimbal, but yeah, he's an absolute pain in the ass to try and rearm against, especially towards the latter stages of a fight, because once his shields go down he's 4 pips to engines, and at that point he's like whizzing around me sounding chronic, and it's very difficult to get away through him to get a reload off, which is hence why I said I need to reload early in the fight when people are trying to get their banks off, use that opportunity, go out a bit of distance, get my own reloads off, because my banks aren't really that important with the way my setup is. I don't get a lot back off my banks. It's important to try and get them free, but more important is to actually keep the ammo up. But yeah, like I say, this was a fun fight though, I gotta say. It was proper concentrating, and I can't play you the audio because of some things that were said. But yeah, I was really enjoying this one. It was properly intense. That round was like, yeah, a few more of them might have made a difference. But as you can see, as you know, when my shields drop, we're actually going to be pretty even on hull. It's amazing how much damage he does, and also it's a real pain in the ass to fight him when he's like this. Once he goes to no shields, he becomes so much more annoying. That was the problem I was having with Halo Pro, and Scooby was like, you should have targeted his modules, and I should have done. Maybe I should have planted him. Maybe I should be targeting Scooby's modules here. But like it's just stuff that when I was fighting Halo Pro, I had 9,000 shields. It felt a bit unfair to also be targeting modules, so I didn't even try in that fight. And this one I should have done. I should have tried to plant him or do something. Maybe damage some of those weapons that were annoying the crap out of me. But yeah, all in all, the amount of little niggly damage that phasing does is just niggles away at you and does you in. And yeah, I also need to use flight assist off more. I'm aware of that. But I thought you know, up until the point I lost my shields, I was pretty much in this fight. At the point I lost my shields, I'm so low on ammo now, and I needed to reload earlier because now Scooby's got all his pips into engines most of the time. Yeah, he's just outmaneuvering me. It's very difficult. You can see I'm resorting to flight assist now in the fight, which I should have been doing a lot sooner. The great thing is, with Scooby being flight assist off, obviously my 4 shell cannons, when they do hit, are doing more to him. But as you can see, ammo is completely gone. I ended up calling it because I had loads of bounties on board, and like I didn't want to risk ramming him and dying there, so I called it and gave him the win. I'm sure he wasn't smug about it, but you know, I am giving him a massive percentage boost in damage. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching.